Hey guys, NanoNexus here with the 5th in my series of videos showing some great upcoming games that are in their alpha and beta stages. So this episode we're looking at 2 novel based games in development right now. Not usually my cup of tea nowadays really. I used to play more novel based stuff in my Nintendo DS days, but these 2 games sounded very interesting, so I decided to check them out, and I'm pretty glad I did. So firstly we have Exogenesis Perils of Rebirth. It's a post-apocalyptic visual novel adventure inspired by the Ace Attorney and Zero Escape games. So this hybrid brings together point-and-click gameplay with a heavy focus on storytelling. It's 2069 in post-apocalyptic Japan. You are Yudai Sayashi, roaming Japan with your ragtag club of treasure hunters called Der Kulten, which is German for to withstand, to hold out, to see through, and to persevere, those sort of words. So overly eager, Yu's sister Miho runs carelessly into a deadly trap which proves to be fatal. Der Kulten disbands, and 2 years later Yu comes across the mythical Noah's Ark and learns about the Lazarus Protocol inside the Ark, a system that can recreate anything from the past. So this is a machine developed when basically humanity's survival was uncertain. So Yu believes Miho can be resurrected with the use of the Ark and looks to bring the Der Kulten back together. So there's hours of gameplay here with 6 chapters planned for the full game. There's numerous puzzles and conversations that all add up to at least 20 hours apparently. The game is made replayable with important moral choices that affect the story. It's got multiple endings with branching story paths and a memorable cast whose fates are determined by your decisions. So the gameplay involves environmental puzzles, there's character interrogation and gathering evidence as leverage in sort of coaxing your former comrades, all in a haunting post-apocalyptic Japan with real-life landmarks. So now, as I said, these games are not usually my cup of tea, as I could never really feel that immersed in a point-and-click novel-based game recently, I guess. But I am just going to play a short bit of gameplay which sort of brought me back and made me very glad that I checked this one out. Okay, so the second game we have is Dead Synchronicity. It's a 2D graphic adventure for PC, Mac and iOS as well, so it's going to be on the iPad, with mechanics similar to those of old school classics like Monkey Island and Broken Sword. Tomorrow Comes Today is the first installment of the Dead Synchronicity saga. It tells the story of a man with no past who must recover his identity and decode the 2 events that brought the world to the edge of collapse. The first event was the so-called Great Wave, an inexplicable chain of natural disasters, and the second event was a pandemic that turned humans into the dissolved. infected with special cognitive powers, but their sick bodies eventually dissolve into a pool of blood. Throughout the game you'll find space-time distortions, concentration camps, supernatural phenomena, gruesome deaths and difficult puzzles. The usual point and click interface here, inventory of items picked up, puzzles that move the story along, and a number of dialogue trees with the people you meet. Now the developers, Victorama, say they have always loved games that dare to delve into darker, more mature subjects, such as I Have No Mouth and I Must Scream and Sanitarium. This sci-fi point and click adventure is dark, violent and even gruesome at some points, with a goal to deliver a game with a mature approach and to recover the open world feeling of free roaming that classic point and click adventures had. So that's it for this episode. Really short one. They look like they're getting shorter and shorter, but it's the order that I've put them in. Maybe I shouldn't have done it. Anyway, go ahead and comment if you have any thoughts or questions. Hit up that like button to let me know if you've enjoyed. And as usual, all the links are in the description, or should be if I remember. And next up, I'll be bringing you a couple of upcoming first-person puzzle type sort of games. Similar stuff to Portal, basically. So I will see you in the next one.